So today we're going to look at the next game in the T1 journey. We're going to just follow them through for now. I've explained why in the past, but I'm a fan, so that's why we're doing it. LCK format is super weird, as far as I know, and even this might be wrong. I was looking it up today because I was thinking, how are they almost being eliminated when they've been winning and they beat Gen G, who are the top team in the other group? The way it works is there's two different groups. The groups play each other, and whichever group wins the most becomes the winners group, and whichever group loses the most becomes the losers group. Then the people from the losers group either get straight eliminated or they go into the play-ins, and the people from the winners group are already waiting. So T1 have to win this series and then the next series for the chance to play up against Gen G, who they already beat, but just because the other people in their group didn't win. So very, very weird format. Do not like it whatsoever, but that's what we've got, I guess. So it's a best of three to be eliminated, having beaten basically everyone so far. We're going to do the same thing as normal, which is we're going to go through it ×2, but I can just stop, pause, jump back, all those kind of things. Looking to review it in the same way that I would review it for myself, except from if you want, you can drop any questions you have in the chat, and we can go into those things in more detail. So 1.2, so pre-Jace nerf, pre-Skarner nerf, all those kind of things. 1.2 wasn't really a pro patch at all, so you'll notice that the meta hardly changed. It more was evolving already. But 0.3 actually is a meta patch. So if you're playing live or if you're watching pro games that are going to be on the later patch, Skarner, Jace, who else was nerfed that is big? Maybe it's not all that big because those are the biggest ones, because K'Sante still wasn't touched. There's like Jax changes, MF changes, all those kind of things. So other than this, fairly standard. The Jace will be very flexible, probably Bruiser. K'Sante also very good. K'Sante probably better in the lane spot. Then Poppy already into this one too. So just a couple of dashes. Already Poppy gives you the disengage for range like Jace. Can always play range if he needs to or wants to. Then it's going to be the Azir as well. Just a good solid blind mid laner. Aurora's the counter, follows with the dive very well. K'Sante also doesn't like it when you're just playing range or anything like that. He wants to jump in. Couple of AD bans and an AD pick here. So the thing you've always got if you're deciding what you want to do as for, like as a coach, is enemy gets the last ban and you get the first pick. So it could be that, I mean, Kai'Sa is normally something you would want to take into Ezreal, but Kai'Sa is really good in the dives. So when you're banning this, and especially this Xayah ban, Kai'Sa is something that needs to be considered. But with the Kai'Sa gone, they just take the Ezreal for themselves. And Corki actually drops all the way down to 4-5. But because there's still Ezreal and Corki to be traded, I think T1 are not too worried about letting that drop down. So it's going to be like a lot of dives still coming through from Nongqing. Oh, MF instead. Okay. I don't like the MF here because you've got very little follow-up. Enemies just diving on you. You don't have any dash, like you're fast, but you don't have any dash or any escape. You've got Poppy support. Okay, Blitzcrank versus Blitzcrank. I really don't like this MF. I think Smash and Carry have been absolutely smurfing, and they might still win, and they might well win this lane. I don't know if the matchup is good enough, but for me, the MF, there's no one here who can help set up the MF. I think they really wanted the Ezreal, to be quite honest. They really wanted the Ezreal, and maybe you would even give them Kai'Sa to take Ezreal, but I think the Ezreal was a good denial pick because I think they sort of didn't have any other option. I would have preferred the Corki though. Not that Corki is super safe against the amount of dive that Nongqing have, but still, I would have preferred the Corki for sure. What else could you go? I mean, Ashe and stuff is just really hard into this amount of dive. Also, MF doesn't really get through the front line. And at that point, it could have also been Leona. Like it was Blitzcrank now, but it could have also been Leona. So I really don't like this MF pick, but we'll see if they make it work. There isn't going to be a lane swap. Blitzcrank level 1. While he is strong, especially in solo queue, because he pulls someone away, he's actually not all that strong level 1. Like, he just hooks and then that's it. Okay. So now this is the way to make the MF work. You just win 2v2. I guess you just kill them 2v2. Like, why are they walking forward? Yeah. So here, right. First 3 minions of these waves, when they die, you're going to get level 2. But you have to know that Poppy can always do this. So it's kept fairly even. They don't want to over push. That's a big thing. If you get the prio, a biggest mistake that I see from people, especially like mid and low elo in solo queue, is you get the prio and then you just hard push. And if you end up getting 2 while the wave is here, you get nothing for it. So you want to, if possible, get both. If you get 2 early, but the wave is in the middle, that's like your best case scenario. So once you secure the push, don't push too hard. And what we see here is the wave is kind of equal. Ezreal gets a few extra pushes, but Keria can hit Q on all the front 3. So he can instantly get 2 first, and then they get this engage already onto Lehends. But you have to know that Poppy can do that. And now you use Blitzcrank's Aftershock just on this bad trade, and then you go straight for another trade? Oh, no, you don't use the Aftershock. Okay. Oh, he doesn't even have Aftershock. It's Poppy's Aftershock. He's got Glacial. So if this stun hits, by the way, you're already like really chunked. But you're just... I mean, okay, MF is a Smurf pick. Like, is this what we take away? MF is going to be really big in this game, therefore it's a good pick. So this already, like, if this stun hits, it's already just a kill. I don't know. Okay, yeah, he misses a Q, but like...
But ultimately, what's out of the end now, it is absolutely disastrous for Nongshim, because coming back in a lane when you Blitzcrank just isn't really a thing that exists. So we're going to need some shenanigans from Lehends if Nongshim wants any chance of making their way back in this game.
I mean, Blitzcrank already in lane is going to be not as useful as Poppy. It's good with Ezreal, not because of the 2v2. Like in solo queue, you often take Blitzcrank with someone like, I don't know, Draven or something, so you can just kill people over and over again. But in a professional game, when in a lane, it's much harder to land hooks. The big thing about Blitzcrank is the roams, and so taking stuff like Ezreal is okay, because Ezreal can be really safe. And allows you to just roam around. It's like Ezreal can also pair with like Pyke and Bard and stuff like that. Like he could be really good in lane, but he can also be quite safe as an AD carry. So it is going to be tanky Jace by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think if it was old teleport, maybe you try to get a double Q on there, weirding and try to execute him or force him to flash, but instead Faker's just like, I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah, you'll be here on Thursday, so it'll be fine. Kingen does manage to get himself that cannon. You can see Doran is about to ahead towards his top side. Something you'd expect in the early game from the Jace, and you'd expect Kingen on this Asante does not care about it whatsoever. Vision needs to hit some of these buttons if he does want to be winning out in a lot of these trades.
And it is going to be, I'm going to guess Bruiser Jace, probably, in this game. Got the Poppy and the Zen, but also they want to have some range threat. Like I said, I think they got their Ezreal pick denied, but...
And I'm worried mostly for how these first few skirmishes are going to go for Nongshim, because they definitely had an itchy trigger finger from that bottom side fight. Let's see if they can quickly try to use this Bryo to grab Dragon and then turn to the grubs, because if you end up losing a lot of control, it's going to be disaster.
I mean, this is just already like, this is already just super nervous. They don't have that much push. They have push in mid and bot. That's what they're sort of thinking, I guess.
And I'm worried mostly for how these first few skirmishes are going to go
but barely. Like, if you think about push not as an on-off switch, but about time, so seconds, you've literally got a few seconds before MF can get there, because she also gets there very quickly. And you lose the 1v1 to Xin early, so the skirmish is just... And then you hook in. So it's just a disaster.
The Dragon doesn't get taken, of course, but Pizza Strength, the first one, is picked up here for T1 off of that third kill. Feeling really happy about how that exchange went, and now moving into control of the top side, sure, you know, that goes to Nongshim.
And now rather than take the Dragon, they just get the push in mid, so that they don't get the Dragon versus Grubs trade. They can just group and match. So now they're here to fight. Faker's very, very low, which is Faker's low, which is why I think and he doesn't have TP, which is he goes off and gets a plant, so he's not as low, but he is still low, which is why I think Nongshim feel good about this, even though obviously Fish has got low mana as well. But still, like Blitzcrank in these situations when you're already like engaging is much less useful than someone like a Poppy, and Poppy is fed. Not 6 though, so that would be the big difference. But gets stunned into the wall.
That's the question. Gideon diving on top of it, flashes forward. Owner is healing though, and is going to survive. Good shield there as King comes in to protect his jungler. And now Doran should be able to just finish off Fisher. If that hook had landed, Fisher able to flash his way out. Now King is the one that.
So now they just run out of stuff in the skirmish basically. Gary is going ham.
That was a bit of a messy one. I would say so too. Gary going to take the quick way out as Doran will be pushing this way forward.
So again, like now you're 3k down. Like this game is already pretty much done, and it's just done from like 1v1, 2v2. The comp's not going to really matter here. I mean, obviously, it does in a sense that T1 win these because of the draft they've got, but it's Nongqing who started both of these things. So Nongqing engaged the bot lane 2v2 and died. Then Nongqing did the dragon and died. And now they did the grubs and they died.
And Faker just seeing whether he can find an opportunity. As it turns out, wasn't able to.
So,
doesn't matter.
so what do you do? You know, that's just
That's
just a bit of a disaster. Now they're going to be able to get the dive. Jace will be dove probably as well, but he can clear more of the wave. So he's easier to dive, but he can clear more of the wave. Really nice dive. They get the knock up. They wait off the third Q as well. Yeah, so they wait off the third Q, knock him up, and then back off, and then just stun into tower. Oh, dead. And Jace just backs off, but clears the wave. That's the really big thing. So Jace is easier to dive in the sense that he's squishier, but harder to dive in the sense that he can range clear the wave. So he just backs off, clears the wave, and now they don't have enough wave to dive him again. And now Keria comes up to match. They get the dragon. This game is just done. They don't even take the dragon. The other thing is that when you're this far ahead, like dragon doesn't matter all that much. Like you're probably not going to be in a situation where you're doing like where soul is the game changer. This is a bit silly. Oh, they just don't see Vi. Okay, now they see Vi. Now they know it's too late. Okay, so that's a little thing. It's 2 kills for the dragon. Because you spend that time top, you lose the dragon. So it still doesn't make much difference, but just a bit sloppy. And this is the combo of like Vi R into Blitzcrank. Well, also it's just land Blitzcrank, that's why they want it. Okay, so we knew they were there. They just took dragon and they're still pushing too far up. Nice. Nice one.
It's not the Cassante who's down 30 CS because of a weird lane swap shenanigans. It's just he's been constantly dove and threatened, so he's spent a lot of time in the death chamber. He can't get CS from there. And this is going to be T1 looking to grab 5 to 6 grubs here. And beyond the death top side, I was going to mention this before, which no longer relevant. It was almost perfect game pace for T1 up until that because they had everything else. The dragon is theirs as well.
Oh wait, my camera is not in the right place.
And hence, like, you've got to be, first he wasn't hitting all of the important hooks, but now it's like, well, do you want to hook anybody? Is it safe to hook any target anymore in these types of skirmishes? When you're this far behind, the answer is most of the time going to be no. And T1 is like, okay, we already grouped to get the bottom turret, now let's systematically move top side, zone you away, and take this one too. It's not just the turret, it's zoning Geo out of farm as well. And you can see King is like, cool, I've got my shadow jungler bottom side. I'll eventually get this one.
I want to be able to show you guys trinkets, but then I can't do that. Is that better or is this better? Maybe it was better as it was, and I shouldn't have touched it. This is the downside of not knowing the result, because this game is already this game is already a bit silly to be looking at in a sense.
And yeah, I mean, I feel like this game for Nongshim has been them grasping at straws ever since the big disastrous fight topside. They already had a hole in the bottom lane after the 2v2 went very awry, and I felt like Nongshim decided, well, we gotta flip the game now because bottom is messed up, and now they're just never gonna get control of the map back, it feels. Yep, 1,000 extra gold when it comes to those plates as well, and that is only insult.
Yeah, they're just so far behind.
5,000 gold lead between these two squads. And I think, yeah, the Hail Mary does need to come out. I imagine that will come from Lehends, but he needs to start hitting some of these hooks at the right times to make stuff happen.
I guess you need like Vial into hook or something. That's your way back into the game, which means there's no real way back into the game. It's just like hope and pray.
Smash is happy to sit in this middle lane that he wins and he's 1v1 against Ezreal at this point in time with BT. So
I don't know if you heard that. Massive smash from next door. They're going to get the mid lane tower. They've already got the top lane tower as well, and the bot lane. All the outside's gone. And they've got the 5 grubs.
There's just nothing that Nongshim can do on the map that they aren't aware of, so it makes plays like we were talking about with Lehends trying to hook somebody so challenging.
So it's just really tough.
Each of them were there. Doran's going to get in. There's the flash break to get Gideon out. But I just don't know what could look like in that play for Nongshim. Yeah, I just don't see it myself because Lehends was so far away. Even if he's there, there's no damage. Fisher's in trouble. Yeah, he's going to get thrown away from his turret. Does manage to bounce towards the other side of his wall after getting bounced off.
Is he just trading ult?
all the walls went down, everything was fine for both sides. I mean, you know, Fisher's whole life is sort of on fire as far as this game is concerned, but in the isolated 1v1, kind of fine.
Yeah, I mean, he has
Liandry's first as well for Azir rather than Nash's.
some issues in lane, but he stabilized pretty well. And I mean, Faker went for Liandry's
I mean,
first.
mostly you just go for one and then the other.
That's
but-
normally what you do with Azir, but he saw the K'Sante on the other side. He was like, oh, let's go for Liandry's first. I think it's a wise choice, but given what we know now, he probably wishes he did it the other way.
Well, there's a roll charge got to do. If it doesn't get us done, then the bullet time doesn't get a whole lot of value.
I think you want to just take Nash's anyway, and then you're just a more bigger threat in the side lane because that Nash's because AP champions hit towers so hard, right?
Will Nongshim ever be able to
So-
get this game?
It just doesn't seem likely unless T1 make a big mistake. And even look at how safely Doran's playing. Just sitting under turret, knowing they don't have control of the pit. And while he sits there, they can't punish him, and then T1 push mid.
Well, True Rod's going to try and help clear out this wave. Plan's making his way over, but this turret is just dead.
Tower just dies because they're going for dragon, and like I say, T1 have just put very little
There's only one in the turret left.
attention to these dragons, and they're winning, so they could. But the question is just like, oh, is Soul ever going to be a big deal in this game? Shouldn't be. We're just so far ahead.
It's not like Mufasa didn't even have to say that bit.
It's like basically Scar and the Hyenas are hanging out in Nongshim's fountain. That's like
The only option that they have. It's a bit cooped up. They're making the most of it. Especially now moving towards Faker, seeing whether we can get a bit of poke damage. Cannot quite catch up.
yeah, this one is pretty much all over what the crying is. I like to say oftentimes here at the LCK. I haven't said it in a while, but this is definitely the most one-sided game I've commentated in 2025.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, we're even going to skip forward. If anyone is in the chat, we're like interested in doing the next game as well. We can go through these ones quicker because just the chance of something happening here is like anytime they come out of their base, they're in danger of this. Carry is always so deep, and so they're just, I mean, they just knock away the only support.
Look, he's going to land that time. Kingan's going to with the Q.
7k gold lead at 20 minutes.
Especially because he's playing Blitzcrank.
Playing that quite nicely as well. And quite a few of those hooks have gone a little bit wide.
And Faker is 2 items a year. He kind of likes to just hit objectives and do a lot of damage to them. It's a little later than on 20, but about 2015.
Yep, and we're also standing on some vision here on Nongshim's side. Let's see whether they can get some sort of steal happening. As there is a Black Forge, it steals it, and now a bit wide.
Okay. So the fact that you ever let this go 50-50 is bad, but I think it's because Smash's ult hits it.
Yep, and we're also standing on some vision here on Nongshim's side. Let's do that before it really sings its praises.
I think if we watch this normally, they don't want to get it to low enough to be like smiteable, because if that becomes like 50-50, obviously it's not actually 50-50, it's like 60-40. The team that's coming to it is harder to steal. But that's still way closer than any other fight that you could take as Nongshim, and I think it's because Smash comes back here and then his ult is hitting it. Yeah. So that's annoying. So Atakan gets pulled towards Smash, and then Smash's ult kills the last 1500 HP to get it in smite range.
On 20, but about 2015.
Yep, and we're also standing on some vision here on Nongshim's side. Let's see whether they can get some sort of deal happening. As there is the flash.
Yeah.
Gideon steals it.
So it does get stolen.
Ticket home. Can they grab themselves some kills as well?
And they got Smash. They're all going to die, but they deny it.
They are just kind of farming these Otacon buffs.
That's so tragic. So what T1 wanted to do there was really good. You get it to like 3k HP and then you just instant fight. But because Smash is ulting,
It just doesn't necessarily matter as they're able to isolate that singular target. The immobile
It
Fortune, they're able to get a miracle steal. They can't win the subsequent fight though because they're just
kills
so
the
behind.
Atakan.
To get to that objective, they put themselves in harm's way. They still give 200 each over to T1 in the exchange. And now with very few of these buffs left, there's not much they can do. They didn't have map control the side lane with them anyways. It's just a denial, a delay of the game here. Essentially, like Nongshim can, they buy themselves some opportunities with this win here for sure. But it alone is not going to put them back in the game. They'll need a lot more than just that.
They'll need a lot of turrets. They haven't taken any of those yet. So I mean, I don't know whether it feels facetious, you know, to have a conversation about standing gold and I'm feeling like
Look at
it's a
Smash.
common thing.
Look at Smash here. He's like, all right, we're gonna win this fight. They're all in the choke point here. I'm gonna set up my cone, and then Lance just says go.
So firstly, someone needs to be in front of Smash, and secondly, that's a bit of a tragedy with Atakan. I mean, if Atakan didn't get low, then Smash dies and you still kill everyone and take Atakan, so it's not the worst. So there's the combo again, except from this time Doran is tanky enough. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of stuff missed, and they still win.
I've had some really creative draft ideas. I'm going to have to hold that thought, because we might have a fight breaking out. Nongshim all grouped as 5. Carrier with that Keeper's Verdict can really make things tough as Doran on a flank angle.
So he gets ulted, then pulled in, but there's not enough damage to kill him. Because Fisher goes back and forward, ulting Ezreal away. Empress Divide goes wide, and they're just too far ahead. They're just too far ahead. Yeah, that wasn't particularly well played by T1, but they're just so far ahead. So you could have been stacking these dragons, because after a couple of little silly mistakes, now it does matter. But they wouldn't have been as far ahead, right? They just play for gold instead of playing for the dragons, because when you get that far ahead at the beginning. And now, like, Smash just, he's never going to get a good ult. other than the last time, which would have been the perfect ultimate. He's never going to get a good ult in this game, and that's why I think the draft is weird.
Oh, wait, never mind. He had already come into the fight with 50%. I guess he came back in and then took a bit of damage and then was back out, hit one more time.
Yeah, he just got zoned. Like, the rest of the team wasn't fast enough to collapse on his mid teleport, so he kind of got pushed away there by all that Faker.
Yeah,
and
smashed down.
exactly.
A bit of a shame.
If he came onto that ward, maybe there's like an angle there. He had flash, I believe, as well. But either way, I mean, for Notion, we really have to think of the most perfect ideal scenarios for team fights for the rest of this game. And any sort of indecision, even if it's just a second or two on that teleport, just gives T1 all the angle they need with the lead they have.
Keria is possibly in danger.
He's like, I only have one buckler.
They know that Blitzcrank's waiting on the other side of that wall, so they're not going forward.
I'm going to be able to kill two people at once as the Baron is now spawned. And T1, you know, you don't need to know them all that well to know that this is exactly the buff that they are thinking of taking immediately.
Yeah, this is their comfort zone.
Yeah.
When they're like 2,000 gold behind, at 7,000 ahead, you know, feeling pretty good about it. Fisher does not have teleport, he's just back, and he's going to go clear that bottom wave. So once he shows there,
So they do the Baron really fast. They've got 2 items, Azir and the Seekers. And it's more tanky, it's not even Bruiser, Jace, it's like full tank. It's like Black Cleaver full tank. And that's because someone else needs to be a frontline. Via into Blitzcrank Cook. You've got Poppy. You need Jace. Oh, I mean, Keria is just good at everything, by the way. He's in the right place, and he instantly knocks someone away. So smashes on mid lane while they're taking the dragon, but he gets the range, and Keria instantly ults. Yeah. Now King is going to die as well. Tries to ult over the wall, but doesn't. The Hen's going to die too. Is that just the game, or do they take Baron? Probably just the Baron.
They might just do it because they feel like it, but I think also pushing into the enemy base might be a way to win.
Yeah, well, it looks like Fisher's flash is going to be enough to get him out of here. And
To the skies was both a request and the name of the ability.
yes, I think that with the Azir damage here, they can easily just two-man this, and then the remainder of these minions aren't really being thinned out by anyone. We'll just end the game here for T1. Faker does have teleport as well, so he
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's going to do. He's looking for the second
So they're
inhibitor,
going to
just
just
follow
teleport to
in.
mid,
Baron buff, cannon minions to say goodnight.
take 2 inhibs, transition to bot lane, take the 3rd inhib as well. Or they can just reset now, they probably have a shit ton of gold.
Yeah, T1 decide not to opt for the end. Interesting, another awkward spot here.
The Hens is also an awkward spot. When it comes to lightning, doesn't actually amount to too much. As King is stopped by the steadfast presence, you need to off some damage back to at least deter them to flash forward to miss. The Q is
I mean, you have to fight this as Nongshim.
absolutely nothing is now King gets an all out onto Doran. Nongshim actually finding some angles here. Also an awkward spot. When it comes to lightning, doesn't actually amount to too much. As King is stopped by the steadfast presence, you need to off some
Now the
damage back to
teleport
at
comes
least
in.
deter them to flash forward to miss. The Q is not exactly what you want. Is now Ona possibly out of position as well. Pressing guard does absolutely
I think you have to just leave someone rather than like the fact that they're trying to fight people. Like that's what turns it into 3 kills. It's going to be another dragon, and you lose some Barons. I don't think it changes what happens in the game, but better than you would expect.
It's so hard to follow up, and everything falls apart behind this. This ends up being the Baron. Great shuffle here from Faker. Remember, he has his arm guard as well, so he feels pretty good about making plays like this. It's the follow-up here where T1 are so low on health. Like, Faker took so much damage, and then they can't really collapse on anyone. And the fact that Faker is low is such an issue here. Doran and Keria split off with Smash, thinking maybe they can collapse and win that, and then they realize, uh-oh, the Aurora has TP. She's coming around. We have to somehow win this fight, kill Hens. He's too tanky. And you can see this is the first time in this game T1 were kind of on a different page with each other, and they actually get divided and conquered themselves.
Yeah, they're all really split up.
Small, tiny hair gain for them,
But 2 inhibs are down. You've still got Baron buffs for the 1 wave.
Oh yeah. Smash still has his Baron buff as well, as it is a negative 2,000 gold Red Bull Baron power play. So Nongshim, they can take that to the bank. I don't know whether it's going to save the Nexus, but still. Ju going to be clearing out waves as best he can. The wave clear is mainly going to be coming from Fisher this
Yeah,
game.
so it's still 7k.
Kind of makes it a little bit sad, but when the minion waves are crashing in on top side and mid and he's just clearing them out, he does do a decent job taking them down. Now that the siege is on, this is where things get dangerous. Out goes King and in goes Keria. Ona looking for an advantage onto Ju, who's
And they just go super deep.
absolutely not. Lands down to 50%, make that 30 and make that dead.
Yeah, okay. So that's going to be the game. Very simple. Game 1. When I planned to do this review, I thought it was going to be a best of 5, I have to say. But if it's going to be a quick 2-0, then
For Nongshim, they have to play on the Blitzcrank, right? If they enter the one side, then you can easily like focus on.
What the rest of the
Not
party is
sure
doing,
what we'll do.
Into the Elise, because you know you have a lot of squishy targets.
So,
that Faker gets fed, which Smash has been known to do.
Draft.
Smash all these targets if you're ahead and you have the right support set up. You have Elise in the follow up. You have the rumble damage to set up too. It gets really easy. The ban on the Xayah makes a ton of sense. Long time counter.
Well, the Nord is going to be banned away. I think that a lot of things with big AoE CC need to be hitting the bench.
Caitlin's super obvious here. I love that ban.
Yeah, holding people in place on the Rumble ultimate is going to be pretty important here. I think a Leona ban would make some sense. Caitlyn, like you were talking about, going to be taken away as well, not allowing you to have that level of range.
I love how they picked Elise first though, and then banned some of the best champions you can lane into. This draft is super weird for me, Nongshim. As we'd all love to see it play Zed.
We would.
Okay.
Really is kind of fun too.
well, at least first pick.
Well, because you know,
okay. That's quite different. Especially with stuff like Rumble up.
It gets really easy. The bit is going to be locked.
Working in the same
Is it going to be a little bit top again?
Seems to be. I thought perhaps we were going to see a Galio pick first, not Elise. Now, Nongshim are really cooking. Okay, I'm not even gonna predict anything that happens next. Okay, the Yasuo, which was really, really high priority early on in the tournament, has fallen off quite a bit, is gonna be locked in here. So,
Or his brother Yone.
oh, sorry, Yone, excuse me.
They're both windy boys.
Yeah, no, my brain is a little bit broken right now. The Sejuani isn't
Okay.
and there's a lot
Sejuani
of-
ban, like they're expecting a Sejuani draft
We'll see what,
with these champs gone, I guess.
into the Elise because you know you have a lot of squishy
Now you
targets.
take Rumble, you take a bunch of dive.
You can just smash all these targets if you're ahead and you have the right support set up. You have Elise in the follow up. You have the Rumble damage to set up too. It gets really easy. The ban on the Xayah makes a ton of sense. It's been a long time counter.
Well, the Knot is going to be banned away. I think that a lot of things with big AoE CC need to be hitting the bench.
Yeah, you get rid of the Xayah, you get rid of the Caitlyn, that pairs really well with the Elise. Elise can still jungle. We've seen it in NLC. I don't know if there's actually been in other regions, but we've seen it in the NLC.
This draft is super weird for me, Nongshim. As we all
So what do they want into the Yone? Okay, it's just going to be Corki. So Kai'Sa is going to provide some AP as well, and you've got the Rumble too.
I don't think he will be playing Kai'Sa mid in this case. As looking between the Ashe and the Jinx here for the bottom lane, remember the Elise is already locked in.
Ashe is very susceptible to all these dives because she doesn't have dash, obviously. But she does provide the follow-up, so it's like, what do you want to do? You want to try and be on the front foot and take the Ashe? Or, I mean, the Jinx wants to be on the front foot too, so.
I think we're also putting a lot of trust in Fisher being able to pilot Yone here to great success.
Oof, and he slams the bike. Okay, so you ban two champs. One's good against the dive. One is good with the Elise. These two bans, I mean, Leona, I think, is a really good one. But I think Nautilus is probably not that great into this comp. Don't know. But it's just good with the dive as well. Oh, because Rel is gone? Is Rel gone? Why is Rel not being picked or banned here? If anyone knows, let me know. But I think just Rel on 5 is what people who weren't carrier would do. Really good to follow up with a dive. Gives you a huge amount of engage in CC. Whereas now, like, the engage is all like skill based. Like Lee engages or Pyke engages are all much more like skill based than other ones.
This week in Solid. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. In game number 2, where tanks have been banned. Playing a tank, elite, it's not something you're allowed to do. With Owner, you have a skin to this champion, dude. Like, I know that one's really cool as well, but I mean, this is the time.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like the time. We will have a lane swap. Ooh, but
Okay, so it's going to be a Nivea in the lane swap.
to match, or will they just try to
Is she
bully
harder to
the
dive with the
the
egg, or is she easier to dive because she's just so squishy?
So strong champion in the lane swap and has great lead through too.
Okay, this used to be banned, by the way.
Ooh, that's some cool tech.
It used to be that you weren't allowed to do
Wave
this.
a little bit.
He's going to W the wave, and he might be able to W it twice.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So now he gets
And what that means is that this wave is going to arrive slower, which means that the enemy wave is more likely to come already like straight into the tower.
Use the turret. Yep, really cool.
That is very. Look at these melees. They're so confused. This one guy's like, where did my friends go?
And it just
I don't care what happens in this game now. I'm behind
messes up the whole
strategy has ever been shown in a single
thing.
game. This is LCK history.
The wall tech. This is what
I'm not sure if this is allowed, but because it didn't used to be. But if it's now allowed, this is a really fun thing to try. I wouldn't try it in your solo queue games, but for competitive, it can be quite fun, especially on the swap. Because on the swap, it means that this wave crashes, which means that they can't stack up a wave to dive you. Not on the swap. The downside is now he just has W level 1.
Really cool.
that is very. Look at these melees.
So delaying
And
a little bit.
T1 were mid lane, and so they just actually call
Try to
this.
slow them down again.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So now he gets to at least convince the minions that they should be a bit closer to his turret.
Use the turret. Yep, really cool.
That is very. Look at these melees. They're so confused. This one guy's like, where did my friends go?
All right, I don't care what happens in this game now. I'm behind this type of strategy. It's like the most strategy that's ever been shown in a single LCK game in LCK history.
The wall tech. This is what you get from playing 19 games of Nvidia top in a week, ladies and gentlemen. It's also probably been playing in scrims, guys. It was a little bit of facetiosity, but that was definitely fun.
I mean, maybe you can do it in competitive and in solo queue, and you just farm with autos. But
You know, if Viego was passing bottom and, you know, the Rumble's pull back, there's some stuff you can maybe do with it, but it doesn't, I don't think it makes too much of a difference in this game in particular. As
in this one, I don't think it matters that much because it's not the swap. But on the swap, I think that makes a huge difference because suddenly your first wave is crashing into the enemy tower rather than your second. And Anivia's going to get all that XP. And then with the stun, she will be very hard to dive.
Not be happy with what happens next. We'll have to eat that potion or drink. Yeah.
And this is what you need to do. Like, if you're the weaker team, which, let's be honest, Longqing is the weaker team, you need to try weird stuff to try and get these wins. And that you only need 2. So let's say that they did swap, and let's say that this just completely fucks up their early game because they crash that first wave in. Oh, nice shoot. And then you can also make a play on the other side, let's say. Then great, you can maybe actually choose a whole game from weird stuff like this because it's not like Longqing are a horrible team, they're just worse. So this is exactly the time to do it. Whereas if you're T1, wouldn't do it in this game. You know, you want to keep that variance down if you're the better team.
As soon as Owner shows in the mid lane, they know they have an angle there, try to get the punish. Really cool usage of the Valkyrie there by Faker as well. Try to deny Fisher from getting away without taking a bunch of damage, and find this hole the right timing here and get out. We'll be able to TP back to lane himself.
So TP back. Fisher didn't use any sums, which is really nice.
Smashing down both of his summoners now means that a follow-up opportunity could be there for Nongshim to punish the early game Kai'Sa.
Yeah, well, King and Doran, let's have a look at this. Ice versus Fire should be.
I thought he was going to go Grasp or something.
Matchups that I learned in Pokemon are concerned. These are in fact not Pokemon though, so it is not going to be the case. He's doing a fair bit of damage, man.
He's phase rush as well in this game. We have seen some different variants. You know,
This is going to be a pick into Rumble. This is going to start getting very fun. If stuff like Anivia becomes pickable in top lane.
And the build that he's been going has been a lot more like Rod of Ages Seraph's style of builds, as the flash from
Oof, flash forward. Like that.
That was some events.
Fisher's feeling it. Okay, he's going to freeze again. He's going to do the wall trick again.
It's always scary when you're playing like this 1v1 against a top laner who's up 2 levels on you, and your minions are close to the turret. Feels very uncomfortable for him. You already had a tough time. Oh, he's caught.
Yeah, there we go. Glacial's doing a little bit of damage there as he finds a stun as well.
And now this is just like not playing against Anivia much.
You are able to set it up, and he's able to do so. That's a level 4 Kai'Sa, so without cleanse, which he's aware of.
So Kai'Sa comes bot and just does sort of nothing.
Yeah. He's going to be maxing the 8. I'm wondering when he's going to put extra points into the wall. I remember
And now you've got top lane tower. Sorry, top lane tower. You've got Grub's top lane. Well, enemy hasn't really managed to crash this wave, and so hasn't actually felt good to take the dragon. And then in these swaps, it's just, I think, much better for the Anivia even. Now, Rumble after 6 can just one-shot one wave.
Makes his way out, lands very, very close to dead. And T1 is kind of chilling right now. Bone Skewer going to be attempted to be blocked, but instead, Gideon's the one that's going to be the target.
Rumble comes to lay the ult down.
Everything about that was just so off the wall. Yeah. But ultimately not successful. Not enough damage on the Faker there, but you can really see the setup here that we've been talking about so much. Gio did not have 6 to follow up because he could have even tried to arrow there as well with everything that was happening. A lot of pick, a lot of zoning, but it hasn't really led to a big gold advantage here for Nongshim. Sitting on about 200 or so at the moment.
King continuing to just try and hit Smash with things. Doesn't, I believe, manage to tag him with the frost there. Oh dear, lands just dead.
High value ward.
Yeah,
okay, it's just the ward snipe.
I have a feeling I didn't ping that one.
Yeah. That's just a little bit sad. I think you might want to risk taking your time to move towards a turret or something like that before you decide to go back with 200 health. Now, Jiu is trying to fight against Doran, and Doran silences himself and does a lot of damage here to Jiu. Does get a little bit on the back end. Into the rush, as the Flame Spitter is able to help out, so the arrow not exactly getting the value that Jiu really wanted. Still, he is going to be okay. Lahan's back in action once again. Oh, man. Maybe it's
Elise is there, so this can be a one-shot, but he misses the cocoon.
Really highly opportunistic to do so. Yeah, another one of those moments. And iconic Elise player who normally hits those 10 out of 10 times. 2 misses today in this game. Look back at this play here. King deep for this one.
Yep, they were just coordinating it to make sure that there's no way to react. Beautifully done.
I know that. Oh, another whiffs.
Yeah, that one, I think it's okay. It's when the enemy doesn't know that you're there and you miss, that's the most egregious.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise they're juking and it's a little bit of mind games and it's a little bit more understandable. But that one in the top lane, that was certainly not one you want. This could be another opportunity.
Okay, so it is going to be the dragon for the grubs.
It's okay. It's when the enemy doesn't know that you're there and you miss, that's the most egregious.
Yeah.
You know, because otherwise they're juking and it's a little bit of
I think Owner just gets one-shot here, doesn't he?
But that one in the top lane, that was certainly
And at least with the Viego, I really like. I like this as an idea. Cocoon dead. Like you one-shot from your support, and then suddenly you get loads of follow-up.
It's just a tightrope walk, though. How they played that. Fisher has spent so much of this game for real, sitting on low health and just going in and absorbing pressure.
Yeah, just really well played. But here, like, so this invade, they're crashing in top, so they feel like they can invade. But Fisher just buys so much time on this bottom side, and they lose on the other side, and as soon as Viego gets the 1 reset, then it's really hard. So I really like this Elise and Viego combo.
You don't have access to Pike's passive, right? When you kill someone as a possessed version of Pike.
I don't think so.
Man, that'd be cool.
That's extra money. Broken. I don't know if that's allowed.
There are so many Viego things that I always talk about, like on broadcast, that I just don't understand. I apologize, everyone. I should probably actually just research all of the interactions that Viego has, because he's played
3 years. Yeah. Let me know if you know that.
Yeah, I think I'll write my thesis on it. I'll try and get a PhD in
think if you had
Viego interactions.
If you had
Okay. Take kick flash onto Jiu, who is very dead.
There's the flash. So punishing no AD carry flash. And T1 do have a lot of like pick potential. They have less engage than maybe they would like, but they have a lot of pick potential. This pick is going to probably get them. Oh, that's a tragedy. Okay. Ooh. Huge follow-up. So with Ashe dead, they have really have no business fighting this. The only thing that they do have is they have TP advantage in bot lane. So if they wait, then Fisher is going to come. And he starts teleporting as they go forward. So Lahen's plays it badly, but he is just trying to bait for this. And then Yone comes in with an absolutely huge ult to turn this round with Jiwoo coming as well.
safeguarding out his owner, and I think he will survive for the moment. But man, I thought that was a T1 destruction derby.
So they should be able to get 5 grubs as well.
But even better there, I think Nongshim super frustrated with the fact that both Keria is able to escape. They knew he was there. I think 99% they know he's in that rush, but they thought they could get the kill onto owner. Flash committed, they don't get either of them. So it's a nice trade back there and an incredible ultimate from Fisher.
So they should have got another kill there as well, I think. I think they just go for Keria instead of... So the flash goes and the ult goes for this, but it's a good pick. Lehen's, I don't know when he repelled, but he didn't repel that. And if he repels that, then I think it's even worse, with Yone coming in with just the TP advantage. But you should have just gone for Keria, I think. Although it's really hard to find the Pyke, right? So. Okay, so this is the Anivia trying to be difficult to be dove. And does go for 1-for-1. Because you can kill the wave really quickly. Like, you're really squishy, right? But you kill the wave quickly. Okay. Let's watch. This is a wild game. Like, let's watch this at normal speed. So, okay, so here, this is where, like, they've pushed up mid lane. They're going towards top. Fish is still on base for ages, so he needs to basically get full item from just lifesteal. The hook lands, but he's already one-shot the wave. They wait off the stun. I think you shouldn't stun until Owner comes. But Lehens does get the return kill. And then Smash takes that massive auto from the tower. So now he can just walk at him with Ignite, with E. Yeah, and he goes down. Fish is here, but Fake is TPing. Oof, the double stun from Keria. Fisher kills him and then probably dies, or what? And Gideon just 1v2. We're dying on the other side of the map, by the way.
The answer is perhaps, because we just continue to fight here in this game.
Okay, so it's a wild one. And like I said, Fisher does die, recalling a slightly silly position. But the big thing for T1 is winning that 1v2 on the other side of the map. That's what makes this whole thing like work. Because they should also at least lose stuff. Like, maybe not kill Rumble, but lose stuff.
Oh no. Nice try.
Oh, he stops the war jump. But now they don't have any help, so...
The cool thing about getting kills is at least when you chase down those is that she utilizes gold incredibly well, much better than most supports, because she builds AP and does a lot of damage with Zatox, and you want to be doing that burst damage. You have the electric Q, right? Finding an isolated target is actually massive. The trade-off for release is that you also give a ton of gold when you die, so if you don't find those all-in wins, you just end up feeding over so much money to the enemy team. This is just what happened to Gideon here. No explanation needed. Tries to use the cloak to get away, and even had the speed up there from the scuttle, but it's not enough. Yep. Keria has just found every single angle to make this Pyke work as well, even in moments where he dies. Yeah. Like, someone is always stunned. Like, it is just kind of nutty the way that he uses the extra mobility in order to always be in the position to get that one to work.
I mean, Keria's Pyke is so good. It's just so good to watch always.
Up and up for them, there were some opportunities, but they didn't slow down the tempo when I think they needed to. They didn't just sit back and say, all right, hold up, let's go to stable game, say look for some more picks. Kept opting in, and now T1 is slowly just taking massive control over this game. And I mentioned whoever gets control first is going to really snowball the game, and we really have a dominant lead until this moment. There's no windows back in this game with a big comp that Nongshim have. It's one of the best comps to play from about 3,000 gold, where you actually still can pick people, you still can blow them up, but it's going to start losing control of objectives. Speaking of, they do have control of Herald now. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, Nongshim, I think if they can convince T1 to walk into them, and that first pick does actually come through, the amount of snowball potential within a fight is extraordinarily high with things like the Viego. But that is the Ripto going down, being able to pick up the eye just fine. And T1 not over-investing into that one. 3,000 gold is the approximate lead, and honestly, not a huge deal. Could be as we are very well aware, because we all watched number 1.
Yeah, no, this is still playable for sure. And with the Herald, some of that gold can be shored up with one of these outer turrets. All of them basically staying at full.
They still have a lot of pick potential. They still have a really threatening Yone on side lane.
When he locked in the Yone, but
he's also still Fisher, right? Like, I feel like he doesn't do the things that you expect someone to do.
He's not, he's going for attack speed boosts as well. I don't know if that's the standard. Oh, I mean, it's just...
He always knows, probably knew before the hens did.
He just has such good game sense. Oh, no. Okay, a good cover from Viego, but... I mean, Jiwoo had flash. Maybe he did have flash?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I think he did have flash. It just feels bad to have to flash on a wave just because you miscounted like Pyke timer. I think you have to ult first, and then you just with Viego coming, you just ult first, and then you kill him. They can dive this maybe? No, not with the aggression going straight onto Fisher, and also with the support coming in. The Spiderling blocking the Lee Sin Q is so annoying if you're Lee Sin.
as it turns out, it was just an extremely squishy Elise. Let's still get the turret going over to T1 here top side.
I mean, now it's 3k gold lead again, and suddenly you went from a situation where, not suddenly, but losing out on all these little skirmishes just from, I think, mechanical things.
Gideon doesn't hit the spear, still a trade up for T1. And then obviously they get that play top side and get the top turret afterwards. So that 3,000 gold lead persists despite a very close kill score here in this game. And
Yeah. So it's just slightly already. I think it's just players. Which is a shame because I love these kind of comps and I love this kind of idea. You've got a huge amount of lockdown and burst damage in Viego.
They're being so careful, they're being so punishing as well on those set traps. It's hard for Nongshim to find the angles they want to, and a very good composition of finding picks. T1 are just too careful.
Yeah. And now this Avatar is
The double scaling items from Anivia.
Can T1 actually fight their way back into some control around this Rivers? Gideon pushing forward. Are going to connect there onto Ono. The double's done a layering CC, but he gets himself out of the same.
So even with that layering, like he doesn't die.
And now this Avatar is on fire. This is a good
You have to get
motor
motor trades, by the way, in this game if you're T1. You don't get motor trades if you're rolling. Stun. Oh, he's. They don't time it properly, so the ult misses. The ult misses, and also the I think the Elise stun should just be saved till after Viego. But maybe there's going to be a gap in between.
Into some control around this Rivers. Gideon pushing forward.
Boom. Stun again, but they layer it, so they both stun. Whereas they could do one stun and then the other, and then he would die. And if he dies, they win this fight, I think. So it's small details, but again, it's just the mechanics. Now Navia is just running. It's probably going to be chased down. Yeah, it does. And Yone as well. Yeah, okay. I still think if you layer that CC properly, you kill the Lee and then. I mean, this has got nothing to do with what T1 do. I think. I mean, T1 react to it well. They clapped quickly.
And yet T1 know exactly what to do in this situation. They have Smash on the cross, so you can actually close the gap super easily. Remember, no one.
But nothing to do with them. Ono would die if nothing about their play changes. And then I think if you get a resetting Viego with at least like Corki right here, it's very difficult for Corki to live as well. And then stun. And you have to go for these kind of things. Like when you're falling behind, you have to go for these kind of plays.
It's just too little too late. The scaling is definitely high in terms of what she could do damage-wise later, but I don't know if it's going to matter.
Kagan is going to do his best to try and find an angle, and Faker is going to make it impossible for any value to be collected. Gives him the go.
Archangel's is gone.
My goodness. He deserved that, you know, like catching a bit of a break here.
I mean, look, anyone who's even a T1 fan will cheer for Anivia in those moments. You know, we haven't seen Anivia that much really ever in a while, and Zeus did it one time, and now we're like, oh, could this be a thing? Could we see Anivia? That's kind of hype. Please live King.
I also think he got his Ceres transform right in time as it was, as he needed it. So that was definitely cool. Fishing can use Salt to escape once again. As now maybe we're heading towards Anivia territory, Wolf.
Yeah.
This is what.
Yeah, I mean now it's 8k gold lead. Now it's now it's difficult.
Finish a game against her for sure.
Ooh, nice side step plans. I don't know whether he's out of the woods just yet. That was the Spiderlings. You know, doing something. Pretty cool. Oh yeah. Going to connect. Now Faker's going to turn out. Arrow will connect as the repel lands out of there. T1 a few too many bodies here for Nongshim to really fight back. They have 4. This is actually going to be another going to go. Carrier cannot miss today.
Yeah, he's just on fire. And Smash is going to sit here and is 4-1. Otacon play is so oppressive. A lot of teams would just look for a die here, but T1 will need to. They know that Nongshim can't punish. They can't look for the picks like their comp wants to. While they see stuff like
okay. Assuming this game. Okay, as soon as I start talking, it gets aggressive again. Okay, assuming this game just ends in a T1 win, for people in chat, do you want to do the next game as well? Do you want to do the next series? Should we look at, what is it? HLE versus DRX, I think? Look at that one too. What I will do though is I'll turn off and on the YouTube thing, because I want to keep this VOD separate. Because I quite like the fact that we've seen a little, we've got like a series of T1. So I'll release this separately as a VOD, and then we can look at the next game as well. Because normally I want to do like at least an hour and a half of like reviewing pro games, and I kind of just hoped that this series would be a proper series. But like I said, when I planned it, it was going to be a best of 5. I didn't realize what the hell was going on with their. I thought it must be upper bracket because T1 is in it, because they topped their group. But actually, topping your group, if you're in the loser group, doesn't still puts you in the play-in stage. Yeah. Complete Fiesta game. Complete Fiesta game, another 10k up. So I'm just going to kind of skip forward. I think that it's both games. They're just better. Like I said, I really think that MF is homeless in that first draft. But they just get 2 2v2 kills right at the beginning of the game.
well.
And then it's already like super tough.
Some of these angles, some of these opportunities as he gets on top of Smash with a Heartbreaker. Now Gio with these auto attacks, Carrier just going to get auto down. And Ona possibly out of position. There's the kick, follows in order to take down Gideon, but the stun is going to be there. And there's the ash damage we've been waiting for. Nongshim able to fight back. This was with Baron.
Yeah, this is one of those old school Nongshim types of team fights where you're like, oh, if you want to tussle with us, you better be ready to get into the chaos. As Gideon absolutely pops off in that fight, and Gideon has been known.
Let's see what the fight is. But still, I like this comp from Nongshim because you always have this opportunity of like if you get that first kill. So I'm assuming that they overextend and then one kill happens, and then from there it just goes like more and more and more and more. Yeah, so now you get Corki, and because of that you get Rumble, and because so this is what I mean. Oh, that game. Oh, what, the HLE DRX game? Okay, I thought you meant this game, because this game was the total fiesta. Well, I'll still do what I was saying, and we'll start it, and I'll stop at like 12:30 or something if it's just a crazy game. Okay, and then they're gonna get Baron.
And Nongshim's continuing to play defense. Arrow going to connect onto this Rumble as the ulti from Fisher. It might be enough there to be able to take him down, but instead he goes golden. Oda now taken down to his GA. Smash is getting autoed down by Gio, who's standing and delivering as far as this.
Wait, so if you this is not an elimination game?
Oda does that.
These two best of threes?
He does have to sacrifice himself. Speaking of sacrifices, Doran will be taking down Fisher.
Because whoever wins plays against T1 if T1 win this, right? Oh, but they're not elimination.
So wild to watch. It's another similar scenario. Not this scenario. It's similar that like Carrier kills you. That's been happening. That's like 6 times happened. Yeah,
I just don't get that format at all.
It can be quite tricky to play out now. Nvidia has the arm guard, so can actually buy a ton of time here. Still has passive as well, so he plays this kind of fast and loose. And I really appreciate how much pressure he puts on. Arrow comes through. Just the tip of
So
the
I
arrow
thought
locks Doran down, and then Gio
in this like losers group, I'm just gonna let this play out in the background. In this losers group, you go into play-ins, and if you lose in the first round of play-ins, you're out. That's what I thought.
I think there's been some games.
But is that not true?
This is not going to be one of them. I think probably is likely to be broken.
I think Lehens, if he respawns, he may just die by existing on Summoner's Rift. This could be a no-one, though, as Carrier going to look for a bonus. Connected after the Heartbreaker. This guy
But if you win this one, now you go into double limit. That's what I thought was happening.
There he goes, looking for another opportunity. Kane just trying to play defense. Picks him out the air again. How does Carrier keep doing this? Now looks for the engage in the backline, sacrifices himself and Smash to find an avenue in. He's going to take down Gio, and Fisher somehow misses everyone. With that ultimate
Smash is just fed in every game they play, by the way. Even against Gen G, he was just fed in every game.
And he's looking to end this game right here. The most kills in a game here.
Oh, this is second round.
And Fisher's still going to try and get more, at least give more. As 2 go down before Smash is given some time.
I thought this is...
Doran also going to be able to clear out the kill onto King and gets the ace. And this is going to be the 2-0 for T1. Welcome to the playoffs of the LCK Cup. You'll be up against either DRX or Humble Life Esports, depending on who wins the next best of 3. But T1, right now, looking like the team to beat in this tournament.
Okay. So, this is already weird, by the way. The fact that this could both be true. They're in the play-ins. They're going to have other teams waiting for them already further down the playoffs, but they're also the team to beat. This round is double LM. Next round isn't. The round after is. Huh? Huh? Okay, wait. I'm going to stop the YouTube for a second and I'll restart it. But I'm going to get the thing up because this is weird. Like, I don't understand at all.